I have a new video for you guys because we need to talk about the relationship between Sam and Aaron Taylor Johnson. This story involves a grown woman in a position of power who manipulated a young boy into becoming her man. I mean, this woman left behind a husband and 2 children to prey on this young actor, and she did it successfully. Today we're going to break down their relationship and why it's problematic. So let's get into it. If you guys don't know who Aaron Perry Johnson is, he's an English actor who has done quite well in Hollywood. He's married to Samantha Taylor, who has worked behind the scenes in Hollywood as a director and a producer. She's also done some writing, and she actually hired Aaron when he was an 18-year-old boy to work on a film she was working on titled Nowhere Boy. This was back in March 2008. Aaron was auditioning to be on this film, and Sam Taylor would have been the one to hire him. At this point in March 2008, Aaron was only 18 years old, and Sam was actually 42. Supposedly, Sam fought really hard for Aaron to get that role in the film because she truly believed in him, and I guess there was a spark immediately. So Sam became Aaron's boss, and of course, she had a ton of power over his career. I mean, she did in fact fought for him to be on the cast for that role. So it almost seems that Sam had an alternative motive by hiring Aaron. Remember guys, at this point, she was married to a man named Jay Jopling. He's actually a famous art dealer, and they had 2 children together. They separated in September 2008. And even though the paperwork claims that there were no other parties involved in their separation, it's clear to everyone if you put things together that Sam actually left her husband Jay for her new man, Aaron. I mean, 1 year after she separated from her husband, Aaron asked her to marry him. So what a coincidence. She moved on quite fast. And keep in mind, guys, this is problematic because she was his boss. I mean, she was 42 years old, about 24 years older than him, which doesn't really matter, but because they got into a relationship, a romantic relationship, it does. The age gap is creepy, and there is a severe power difference in this relationship. Also, what is this 42-year-old woman wanting to do with an 18-year-old boy? Again, she's married, she's got 2 children, and actually her children are quite close in age to Aaron. So it's bizarre to think that she would want to leave her happy home to go and just be with this young boy who she is the boss of. A weird power dynamic there. The couple allegedly met for this movie, Nowhere Boy, but some say that Sam actually knew Aaron for a very long time. Supposedly, Aaron's family has been family friends with Sam's family, so Sam Taylor knew who Aaron Johnson was ever since he was a young boy. There's actually a thread on Reddit, and one user claims that Sam has known Aaron ever since he was 6 years old because she has been a family friend. There were allegedly pictures of her hanging out with him when he was a young boy. Now those are only rumors, and they supposedly started on Twitter, and I can't locate any pictures of them together when he was very, very young, but it's still odd that they got together when he was only 18 years old, and again, she's a full-grown woman. And a position of power. I mean, his career depended on what she wanted him to do for this movie, so if he said no to anything or did anything that she did not like, she could just pull the plug and just cut him off. So I feel like he was in a very vulnerable position, and we don't really speak about women sometimes who, GROOM, minors and such. Usually it's the men, but I do want to acknowledge that sometimes it is women. And in this case, Sam manipulated this young boy so that she could have him for herself. But supposedly this couple had a really intense connection working on set of that movie, Nowhere Boy. It truly kicked off their relationship, and Sam actually told the Times UK that they had an intense connection. Which again, I cannot imagine an intense connection being professional between this grown woman and one of these actors on set. Sam kind of shifts the blame onto Aaron for why their relationship really started up. She claims that he was very intense and absolutely had his mind made up, that he wanted to be with her forever. But supposedly the couple kept it professional. They claimed that they were very professional throughout the entire film. There was no funny business at all, but supposedly everyone on set knew. And as soon as they finished, Aaron told Sam that he was going to marry her. We hadn't even been on a date or even kissed yet. That right there is a major red flag, because why is this 18, 19-year-old boy so invested in his relationship with this grown woman who is married and has children? He's so determined to marry her, yet he hasn't even kissed her or gone on a date yet. So those things don't really seem to add up with them being very professional and no funny business going on at all. If there wasn't any funny business, then why is this guy trying to marry you? But their relationship continued, and actually a year to the minute after they met, exactly 1 year to the minute, Aaron got down on one knee and asked Sam to marry her. That line right there doesn't really make sense to me, because if you think about it, they met in March 2008, so then that would mean in March 2009 they were going to be getting engaged. The dates don't really add up here, but again, it's surprising to me that he is so eager to marry this woman. Aaron actually said in an interview that he knew instantly that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with this person. And he added, "I knew I wanted a family with her. I knew I wanted kids." And a month later, she was pregnant with their first child. So in July 2010, Sam gives birth to their first child together. And at this point, Aaron was only 20 years old. Even though the couple wasn't married yet, they were in a rush to have children. They actually had another child in 2012, still out of wedlock. But they weren't out of wedlock for long, because in January 2010, they gave birth to their second child, their daughter, and then later on that year, in July, the couple got married. I'm not too sure if the couple had their parents or their families at the wedding when it went down, but I do know that Sam hasn't really been away from Aaron for long at all, which again is another red flag to me. Sam has boasted that throughout the couple's relationship, the pair have only been apart for maybe 2 or 3 days at a time. "We hardly go out now, it's just us," Sam told Harper's Bazaar magazine in 2010. Interestingly enough, this is actually a common tactic for those who manipulate the young, because they don't really want the person who they're manipulating to go away and go talk about the relationship or, realize what the real world is like. She wants to keep Aaron in this bubble and probably doesn't want him to go away with someone his actual age. I feel like that would be a big fear for Sam, and why she would like to have control over their relationship. I mean, I think that she must be a control freak, because their relationship really started with her as a director hiring an actor for a job. She was at such a high position in their relationship, and I don't really think that the dynamic has changed. Taking it back to that movie On Set, Nowhere Boy, I do want to bring up this comment that I found on Reddit, where they actually claimed that there was a journalist that visited behind the scenes and they saw some funny business going on. Supposedly, the journalist said it was the strangest experience he ever had. He actually recalls Aaron and Sam just randomly leaving set to go dance under the rain and do random odd things. But what's weird is that they claimed that there wasn't any funny business going on set. Yet in that same interview, they claim that everyone who was on set saw the relationship coming and they can tell there was that connection. So how was there no funny business, yet people knew that you guys were vibing and were going to be together? And even a journalist who supposedly went behind the scenes said that they saw you guys just leaving set together, probably being very unprofessional. The sickest thing, in my opinion, is the fact that this woman left her family to be with this young boy who had a lot of life to live. Keep in mind that she actually has 2 other children from her first marriage. Her daughter, Angelica, is only a couple years younger than her new stepdad, Aaron. And Angelica actually had a role in that movie, Nowhere Boy, where she was the younger sister of Aaron's character. So if this girl, Angelica, was on set playing a role, then she was around her mother and her future stepfather, probably getting frisky and being inappropriate. Keep in mind, at this time, Sam was married to Jay, Angelica's father, and could you imagine what it would feel like to see your mother flirting with some 18-year-old who is around the same age as you? I feel like a lot of dirty things happened on set here. People have been very interested in Sam and Aaron's relationship because of their huge age gap, but they have been trying to keep their relationship a little bit more private, which is usually a tactic used by these manipulators to keep their partner from speaking out. I definitely feel like the couple has stepped back from being in the limelight because of the backlash they've gotten on their relationship. In February 2017, Aaron actually complained that the public's fixation on their relationship was intrusive, which I'm sure it is, but it's also for good reason because people are concerned that your wife, got you at a young age and manipulated you into, becoming her husband when you had a lot of life to live. Sam may describe Aaron as an old soul, but that doesn't change the fact that he isn't old. Like, he's not a grown man, and he was a young boy when she met him, and she honestly probably could have made him into whoever she wanted to make him because he was still vulnerable and such a teenager. I mean, I think back to when I was 18. Imagine if you were just scooped up and you had no other future relationships. There's so much that he has missed out on and growth that he would have had from, being in relationships with people and those ending and things like that. I truly feel like dating around and meeting multiple people makes you a better person and prepares you for your future love by, learning things earlier on that you probably shouldn't do. But Sam claims that they spent every minute of the day together. Supposedly, her friends call him Benjamin Button because he has, on the outside, such youth. But on the inside, he is so wise and settled. He doesn't like parties, he likes being at homes and cooking for the family, he likes walking the dogs, he loves his chickens. Which I'm sure he loves his chickens, but also you kind of put him into this position, and I feel like the power dynamic that we started off with in the beginning of this video, again, has never shifted. And she's just kind of making him out to who she wants him to be. But it looks like Aaron is happy. I mean, he revealed that he actually has a tattoo of his wife's name on his chest near his heart. So I guess he's in love, and honestly, I don't doubt that. But I think back to a lot of the people who are in these situations, like Aaron, they don't realize that there's something wrong here. They don't realize that there's a problem. They're completely unaware to the fact that they have been manipulated by their partner and just forced into this relationship at a young age because it's what they're used to. It's what they've grown to know, and they've become comfortable in it. And I'm sure Aaron doesn't like that people challenge their relationship or question it because he is in love with his wife. I don't doubt that. But is it wrong for what she did to him by, taking him as a young boy, filing for divorce from her husband, starting their relationship and, having their insane connection on set? I just feel like it's all very inappropriate and we're missing some big gaps from this story. But it doesn't seem like the couple cares. Actually, in December 2019, they say after being together for more than 10 years that they weren't concerned with the chatter surrounding their relationship. Sam told the magazine, "If I gave a second thought to other people, I would be the unhappiest person, probably still in a miserable marriage." She continued, "People like to talk about it. I'm like, yeah, but it works better than my last marriage. It's lasted longer than a lot of my friends' marriages." And their relationship has lasted a long time. We cannot deny that. But again, I do feel like Sam has created an environment where Aaron is trapped in it. And I don't think that he has any plan anytime soon to leave her. But there were rumors circulating earlier this year that they were splitting up because they have been selling their home in LA for $7.5 million. Maybe they're just trying to get out of the city, COVID, everyone's trying to go into the country land. But some other people believe that this is a big sign that they are splitting up and it's time to, separate the assets. They have actually debunked these rumors and claimed that they are extremely happy together, that they are just looking for a new home, but there are still people who do not believe that. I mean, they cannot comprehend the fact that this guy, Aaron, is with his wife, Sam. And I do want to clarify something. In the beginning of this video, I started off by saying Aaron Perry Johnson and Samantha Taylor. And I do want to inform you guys that they actually connected their last names. So that's why we call them Sam and Aaron Taylor Johnson, because their last name is hyphenated. It's Taylor Johnson. Aaron wanted to keep part of Sam's last name in their name when they got married, which is cool or whatever, but it was a little confusing when I was first trying to figure out who they were. In my opinion, Sam is an extremely problematic person. She's one of those creeps in Hollywood who deserves a spot right next to Weinstein and the rest because she used her power behind the scenes to manipulate who got the role for the movie. I mean, Aaron was a great actor, I'm sure, but maybe someone better would have filled that role. But Sam had her eye on Aaron, and she knew that this was going to be more than just a working relationship. I mean, keep in mind, guys, that she left her husband, and then less than a year later, she was engaged and then pregnant a month after that. So there's something very bizarre here, and I feel like we need to call out these problematic relationships because if we don't, the cycle in Hollywood is just going to continue, and it's wrong. There's nothing right about this relationship. And even if they are happy, again, I feel like he's not truly happy because he doesn't understand what she has put him through. But so many of you guys have requested this video, so thank you so much. If you have any other video ideas for me, here is my little email. Feel free to reach out to me. Any video ideas if you just want to say hey. But until next time, I will see you guys in a new video soon. Comment below what do you guys think about this relationship. I mean, do you think Samantha is a Groomer? Because I feel like she is. But until next time, I will see you guys in a new one soon. Bye, guys.